An electrical power system is very complex, so it needs some form of switchgear in order to carry the electrical power supply safely and efficient control under both normal and abnormal conditions. A tumbler switch and a fuse will act as some form of switchgear, so to control the light or other electrical equipment. In the same way, a circuit breaker also a form of switchgear, but it also works under normal and abnormal conditions, but it has many added and much more complex features. In the before session, we will study about the types of switchgears and circuit breaker and also principle of circuit breaker. Now in this session, we will study about the following things. That is, one is you see the captions. We are going to study about the first one, arc phenomena and cause of the arc. Second one, arrangements or methods of quenching the arc. Third one, functioning of oil circuit breaker. And fourth one, types of oil circuit breaker and BOCB, that means bulk oil circuit breaker, construction and working. So coming to the arc phenomena, so in this way you will see the figure also here, the arc phenomena like this. So these are the two contacts of the circuit breaker. One is fixed contact, other one is moving contact. So the both contacts are intact before they are separated by the protective system due to the short circuit current flowing between the two contacts. When the short circuit occurs on the system, a short circuit current flowing through the contacts like this, from this and this, the direction of the current is like this, and they are separated some small distance. So an arc is produced due to the voltage gradient of the between the two contacts. So arc is nothing but a bright luminous glow of electric current flowing through the gap and between the contacts of the circuit breaker. Due to the arc heat around the surrounding air, if the contacts are surrounded by air, if the contacts are surrounded by the air or if the contacts are surrounded by the oil, both are get affected. The oil is vaporized, other are the air is ionized. Ionized means the air molecules are get divided into positive ions and electrons. And also vapor. Vapor means the gas is dissociated into vapor like hydrogen gas. Both ionized air and the vapor are good conductors of electricity. Due to this, the arc is maintained even though there is a small voltage difference between the contacts of the circuit breaker due to the low resistance provided by the arc path. So in this way the current is uninterrupted. So next thing is the vapor, that means hydrogen gas, which is also a good conductor of electricity. Therefore the arc current is flowing and it is still maintained. So therefore the arc current is uninterrupted. During this period, the arc current is only depends upon the arc resistance. The arc resistance depends upon the following terms, and see the arc resistance is depends upon the following items. First one is degree of ionization. The arc resistance increases with the decrease in the number of ionized particles between the contacts. So here ionized particles means the air molecules are get divided into positive ions and electrons. So these are called ionized particles. Ionized particles are good conductors of electricity. Therefore these are increases these are decreases the resistance. If the ionized particles are more, this can increases the resistance, this can decreases the resistance. If the ionized particles are decreased, the resistance increased. Likewise other factors are like this. Length of the arc. The arc resistance increases with the length of the arc, that is separation of contacts. So here also the length is proportional to the resistance of the arc. So therefore the arc resistance increases with the length of the arc. Third one is cross section of the arc. The arc resistance increases with the decrease in area of cross section of the arc. Here also the arc resistance decreases with increase in area of the cross section of the arc, but here also we decrease the resistance, we increase the resistance, the area should be decreased. So these are the factors affecting the arc of the circuit breaker. So how these factors are eliminated? So before going to this, we will study about the arc, cause of the arc, how the arc is affected the electrical power systems. So the cause of the arc is like this. So this is the cause of the arc. The arc should be extinguished as early as possible, otherwise the fault current continue with considerable damage to the alternator, transformer, circuit breaker contacts, and interrupts of supply also takes place. So this is the cause of the arc. If the arc is allowed for several seconds or several minutes, the arc should damage the alternator, circuit breaker, transformer, and also even interruption of power, interruption of the supply also takes place. So what we are going to do? So in this way we will consider the minimizing the arc, that means the arc should be extinguished as early as possible. For this purpose we are using two methods of arc quenching. They are like this. So here also factors responsible for the maintenance of arc between the contacts. So before the factors are only producing the arc resistance. Now these are the responsible factors for the maintenance of arc resistance between the contact. One is PD between the contacts, second one is ionized particle between the contacts. So first one is PD between the contacts. PD is nothing but potential difference between the contacts. So how this is affected is now we will see. If the gap of the contacts is reduced, if the gap of the contacts are small, so therefore there is a small potential difference cause electric current flow between the two contacts. So that's why the arc is maintained even small distance between the contacts because of the small potential drop also. If we increase the distance between the gap of the two contacts, the PD is, that means the potential difference is insufficient to maintain the arc. So therefore the arc current is reduced and it is sufficient and it is insufficient to flow through the arc. Therefore the arc is interrupted. At the same time the current is also interrupted. Likewise the PD is maintains the arc, but it should be decreased by increasing the length of the gap. So second factor is ionized particles between the contacts. Here we already know about the ionized particles, because these ionized particles are good conductors of electricity. Due to this, even the ionized particles, small ionized particles also responsible for the maintenance of the arc. So these are the responsible factors to maintain the arc. So what we are going to do is now we are reducing these factors by arranging some methods, that is arc quenching methods. Here are two types of arc quenching methods. So look at this arc quenching methods. Methods of arc extinction or arrangements of arc quenching. First one is high resistance method, second one is low resistance method. So now we will see the high resistance method of arc quenching. In high resistance of arc quenching method, the resistance is made to increase the resistance is made to increase with time. That means the resistance of the arc increased so that the arc current is insufficient to flow across the gap. Therefore, the current is, that means the arc current is interrupted, so the arc is extinguished. So in this method, one disadvantage is enormous energy is dissipated in the arc in the form of heat. However, the arc resistance can be increased by the four methods. The four following methods are like this. You see the following methods like this. The resistance of the arc may be increased by, first one, lengthening of the arc, second one, cooling of the arc, third one, reducing cross section of the arc, fourth one, splitting the arc. So coming to the first one, lengthening of the arc. Here we will made increase the gap length so that the length of the arc also increases. Due to the length of the arc increases, the resistance also increases, because the resistance is proportional to the arc length. That's why we increasing the length of the arc. But in this method, in high voltage system, the length of the arc, that means the gap, distance between the gap increased many meters. So this is impracticable in high voltage system. That's why this is not practically used in the high voltage systems. Second one is cooling of the arc. Here cooling means the vaporized or ionized air must be cooling. So cooling means the ionized air gets into original combination. That means it originally divided into positive ions and electrons. So these are recombined into neutral molecules once again. Therefore, the medium is first ionized, then next one is unionized. Due to this also the resistance of the arc increases. Second one, third one is reducing the cross section of the arc. Here also we reducing the cross section, the resistance of the arc can be increased. But how the reducing the cross section of the arc is possible? There are two methods. One is by allowing the arc in a opening, narrow opening. So we allowing the arc in narrow opening, so therefore the cross section of the arc can be reduced. Due to the reducing of the cross section, the resistance of the arc can be increased. And second one is by using smaller area of contacts. So using smaller area of contacts also increases the resistance of the arc. So that's why in the third method is reducing the cross section of the arc. And fourth one is splitting the arc. Here the arc is splitted in number of smaller arcs in series. So in this way the arc is first lengthening and then cooling. So splitting means the arc is lengthening and splitting. So both lengthening and cooling of the arcs both are increasing the resistance of the arc. In this way the four methods are used to increase the length of the arc. So that's why these are four methods are used in high resistance method of arc extinction. Then next one is application of high resistance arc quenching method. So this type of quenching arrangement is employed, that is application of high resistance method. This type of quenching arrangement is employed in DC circuit breakers, low and medium capacity AC circuit breakers. So here we are already discussing that the arc resistance can be increased by these four methods, but these four methods are only used in low and medium capacity AC circuit breakers and only DC circuit breakers. Now other method is low resistance method. In this method the resistance of the arc is kept low until current 0, where the arc is momentarily extinguishes. So in this way, at this instance we will forcibly extinguishes the arc and is prevented from restriking in spite of the rising voltage across the contacts. That means here in low resistance method the arc resistance is kept low until current 0. That means in AC waveform the current reduced to 0 at every half cycle. In that way, in that instant the arc is momentarily extinguishes. In that period we can forcibly extinguish total arc, then the arc cannot be restriked by the restriking voltage or rising voltage across the contacts. But how this can be possible. Here we using a dielectric strength of the medium. Here the arc consists of ionized particles or vapor which are low dielectric strength. We can increase the dielectric strength of this medium by some means. We can eliminate the or we can extinguish the arc greater than the rising voltage. That means we can build up of the dielectric strength of the medium rapidly greater than the rising voltage across the contacts. In this way the dielectric strength builds up and the arc is extinguished, therefore the current is interrupted. So this type of method is used in low resistance circuit breakers. But how the dielectric strength of the medium can be built up rapidly? So these are two ways to build up the dielectric strength of the medium rapidly. So first one is see this caption, the rapid increase of dielectric strength of the medium near current zero can be achieved by ionized particles in the gap between contacts to recombine into neutral molecules. Second one is sweeping the ionized particles away and replacing them by unionized particles. So first one is ionized particles can be cooling. That means ionized particles cooling means the ionized particles get recombined into their original molecules. So this is one way. The other way is sweeping the ionized particles away and replacing the unionized particles. So this is also increasing the dielectric strength of the medium. So these two processes are called deionization. So how the deionization can be achieved? The deionization of the medium can be achieved by following ways. See the following ways. The deionization of the medium can be achieved by lengthening of the gap, high pressure, cooling of the arc, blast effect. So first one is lengthening of the gap. Here we are using lengthening of the gap. We moving the contacts rapidly, therefore the dielectric strength can be increased because the dielectric strength is proportional to the length of the gap. Here we increasing the length of the gap rapidly, therefore the dielectric strength can be increased morely. So this can increases the dielectric strength, this can be eliminate or extinguishes the arc, and so the current is interrupted. Second one is high pressure. In this high pressure, high density, in this high pressure, increased density of particles cause higher deionization. That means we can increase the pressure of the particles near the arc or in the vicinity of the arc. So therefore the dielectric strength also increases. If the dielectric strength of the arc increases, what happens? The current decreases and therefore the arc is extinguished. Next one is cooling. Cooling also, cooling is nothing but here cooling means recombination of ionized particles into unionized particles. That means molecules and positive ions and electrons are recombined into neutral molecules. Therefore this also increases the dielectric strength of the media. And last one is blast effect. Here we replacing the ionized particles with unionized particles. That means the ionized particles are replacing by the unionized particles, either gas blast or air blast along the arc, or by forcing the oil across the arc also we can use this. We can increase the dielectric strength of the arc, dielectric strength of the medium. So this low resistance method is employed in this circuit breakers. So application of low resistance method employed in all modern high power AC circuit breakers. So in the before high resistance methods are high resistance method of arc quenching is used only for limited circuit breakers, that is only for DC circuit breakers and low capacity and medium capacity AC circuit breakers. Here high resistance method is used in high capacity AC circuit breakers. Now some important terms related to the arc phenomena. Those are like this. Those are like this. First one is arc voltage, second one is restriking voltage, third one is recovery voltage. So here arc voltage is nothing but the voltage that appears across the contacts of the circuit breaker during arcing period. So you see the arc voltage like this. Here the arc voltage is like this. The red color graph is the arc voltage. So the arc voltage is like this. So this is during the arcing period, the voltage that appears across the contacts of the circuit breaker during arcing period. So next one is restriking voltage. That means this is the restriking voltage. So this restriking voltage appears only at current 0. This is the fault current. So fault current 0 only, this restriking voltage appears. This is a transient state of restriking voltage with high frequency. So this is formed due to the energy distribution of electrical and mechanical fields, magnetic fields. Due to distribution of magnetic and electrical fields, the high voltage, high frequency voltage is developed. That is we called as restriking voltage. This is also suppressed. This is already suppressed in the we are using dielectric strength of the medium, right. So next one is system voltage or recovery voltage. So here the recovery voltage is like this. This is the voltage that appears across the contacts of the circuit breaker after final arc extinction. So after final arc extinction, the voltage across the contacts is like this. Here some oscillations are there due to the restriking voltage. These oscillations are suppressed by the system resistance by using damping effect. These are the small oscillations. These are damped out by the system resistance, and the restriking voltage is normally coming to system voltage like this. So after final arc extinction, the voltage is across the circuit breaker is like this. These are the some of the terms. These are the some of the terms normally across in the arc phenomena. So next one is types of circuit breakers. Types of circuit breakers. Here there are 4 types of circuit breakers. One is oil circuit breaker. Second one is air blast circuit breaker, and third one is SF6 circuit breaker, and fourth one is vacuum circuit breakers. That is classification of the circuit breakers. First one is oil circuit breakers. So which employs some insulating oil, that is example transformer oil. Second one is air blast circuit breakers, in which high pressure air blast is used for extinction of the arc. Next, third type of circuit breaker is SF6. SF6 means sulfur hexafluoride gas circuit breakers, where sulfur hexafluoride gas is used for extinction of the arc. And fourth one is vacuum circuit breakers, in which vacuum is used for extinction of the arc. These are the 4 types of circuit breakers. Now we will study the oil circuit breakers, how the oil circuit breakers are working as a circuit breakers. So taking first oil circuit breakers. Oil circuit breakers in which oil is used for arc quenching, where contacts are under oil. You see the figure, oil circuit breaker is like this, the contacts. Originally the 2 contacts are intact. The 2 contacts are intact under the oil. Under normal working conditions, the 2 contacts are intact and the circuit current flows through the contacts of the circuit breaker. Whenever a short circuit occurs, therefore the short circuit occurs, the protective system is separated the contacts like this. So this is the fixed contact, this is the moving contact. So the moving contact is moving like this. So it moves like this. Therefore, a gap is formed between the two contacts. Due to the gap, the potential gradient of these two contacts, a arc is produced. This arc evaporates around oil, and it is dissociated into hydrogen gas. So this is the bubble of oil vapor which has hydrogen gas and small percentage of methane, acetylene and acetylene. So this high pressure hydrogen gas occupies a substantial volume of 1000 times about the decomposed oil. That means it occupies huge volume and replaces the oil around the contacts of the circuit breaker, and also it occupies adjacent portions of the circuit breaker. So here the hydrogen gas has one advantage, it has high conductivity. Due to this high conductivity, the arc is cools by the hydrogen gas, and at the same time it builds up the dielectric strength of the medium between the gap, and also the turbulence of the hydrogen gas sets up and the oil is forced into the gap of the two circuit breaker contacts. Therefore, it eliminates the arcing products. Here the arcing products is carbon. The carbon is eliminated by the turbulence of the gas that appear across the contacts of the circuit breaker. So in this two process, the dielectric strength between the two gaps is increased, and therefore the arc is extinguished. Therefore the current flowing between the two contacts is reduced, and reduced means that is interrupted. In this way the oil circuit breakers are working. Like this. So what the advantages and disadvantages of oil circuit breakers are like this. First, advantages of the oil circuit breakers. So advantages of the oil circuit breaker: it absorbs the arc energy to decompose the oil into gases which have excellent cooling properties. That means the oil, that is in the gases, that means the hydrogen gas which has high conductivity, therefore it has excellent cooling properties. Second one is it acts as insulator and permits smaller clearance between line conductors and earthed components. So we can make the part, that means oil tank, in compact size, because oil provides insulation. So the smaller clearance between the line conductors and also earthed components. Third advantage is the surrounding oil presents cooling surface in close proximity to the arc. So the surrounding oil presents cooling surface. It also helps in or aiding the deionization or aiding the dielectric strength of the medium. So in this way, these are the advantages of the oil circuit breakers. So there are disadvantages also. There are the disadvantages of the oil circuit breakers are like this. Disadvantage. So in this, risk of fire. So risk of fire means the oil is inflammable. Due to the inflammable oil, there is a risk of fire. And also second one is form explosive mixture with air. So hydrogen gas which evolved during arcing, it reacts, it combined with air and it is a explosive mixture. And third one is oil quantity deteriorates due to arcing products. Here the arcing products every time whenever arc is struck between the contacts, there is a arcing products are produced. These arcing products are nothing but carbon. This carbon deteriorates the quality. This carbon deteriorates the quality of the circuit breaker, quality of the operation of the circuit breakers. So these are the three disadvantages of the oil circuit breakers. Now the oil circuit breakers are further divided into two types. They are like this. Types of oil circuit breakers. One is bulk oil circuit breaker. Second one is low oil circuit breaker. In the bulk oil circuit breaker, we are using huge amount of oil. In this bulk oil circuit breaker, the oil serves two purposes. One is it acts as arc quenching medium. Second one is it provides insulation between the line conductors and earthed components, whereas in low oil circuit breakers where minimum oil is used, this minimum oil is only used for extinction of the arc, but electrical conductors are insulated by air or porcelain or some other inorganic insulating material. So further we divide bulk oil circuit breakers into two types. They are plain tank oil, second one is arc control oil circuit breaker. So we will now study about the plain tank oil circuit breaker. So plain tank oil circuit breaker is nothing but the figure is like this. You see the figure of the plain tank oil circuit breaker. It has a watertight weather-tight oil tank. It has a weather-tight oil tank, and which certain level the oil is up to certain level, and the contacts, this is the fixed contacts, and this is the two moving contacts. This is a double break plain tank oil circuit breaker. Above this is there is a air cushion is there. This air cushion is provides arc gases to allow the arc gases without unsafe pressure, and also it absorbs the mechanical shock of the oil, upward movement of the oil. The construction is like this, and the working of oil circuit breaker is like this. There is a here in the system short circuit occurs. Whenever a system the short circuit occurs due to the short circuit current, that means heavy current, the protective system operates and it pull down the moving contacts. The moving contacts are pulled down by the operating system, that is protective system, and therefore an arc is established between the contacts of the circuit breaker. Here double breaks means here one break, here one break. In these two breaks are series. So therefore an arc is struck between here and here. Due to this arc, what happens? The surrounding oil gets vaporized. That means hydrogen is evolved. So therefore hydrogen has a best that means hydrogen has good cooling properties, and also this hydrogen gas sets up turbulence in the oil. So this also gives us high dielectric strength. Therefore up to certain length of the gap achieved, the arc is extinguished. Hello? So therefore the arc is extinguished. Hello? In this way. Hello.
Can you explain me what is meant by restriking voltage, please?
Restriking voltage. So here is one question, that is how the restriking voltage appears across the contacts of the circuit breaker. Here the restriking voltage appears only at current 0 only. This is formed due to the distribution of magnetic and electric fields of plant and transmission lines. So there is a field between, that means plant and electric lines, electrical power lines. These two combined gives an electric field or magnetic field. The magnetic field is changed to electrical field. Due to the changing of the field between one to the other, there is a huge amount of voltage is developed across the contacts of the circuit breaker only at current 0 or near 0. This is we call restriking voltage. So this is the more important in the circuit breaker, because for this voltage occurs, and this voltage once breaks the dielectric strength of the medium, the arc will continue further cycles, further half cycles also the arc is continued. Like this, this is why this is more important in the circuit breakers. Hello.
What is meant by high resistance method for quenching of arc?
High resistance means here we increasing, here the question is what is the high resistance method. Here high resistance means we increasing the resistance by 4 methods. One is lengthening of the arc. So here we increasing the length, so therefore the gap length increases, therefore the resistance also increases, because arc resistance proportional to the length of the gap. Second one is cooling. Cooling means once the ionized air is cooled down, so the ionized air gets into deionized, that means original form. The first they are ionized, then they are cooling, they are coming to their original position. Due to this also, that means unionized air which has high dielectric strength, which is nothing but high resistance. So in this way also we increasing the resistance. So third one is reducing the cross section. Reducing the cross section means cross section reduced, resistance can be increased. So in this way what we are going to do is we allowing the arc in a narrow opening. This is one method. Other method is by using smaller area of cross section of the contacts. This is also gives us lower cross section of the arc. So this way also we increasing the arc resistance. So last method is splitting the arc. The arc is splitting into number of smaller arcs. So in this way each smaller arc experience a cooling effect and lengthening effect. This is also increasing the resistance of the arc. But how the splitting of the arc can be achieved? It is simple. The splitting of the arc can be achieved by introducing a conducting plates across the arc. This can be used, this can be split the arc. So therefore the arc resistance can be increased. So these are the four methods used in high resistance method. So in this way bulk coil circuit breaker, the arc is established across this breaker. So this the arc is evaporates the surrounding oil into hydrogen gas, and this hydrogen gas which has excellent cooling properties, the arc can be extinguished as early as possible. Up to certain gap length is reached, the arc can be distinguished. So therefore the current can be interrupted. Like this the oil circuit breaker, plain tank oil circuit breakers are working. So these are the oil circuit breakers, plain tank oil circuit breaker. There are also here, this is a double tank oil circuit breaker. There is also a single break oil tank oil circuit breaker is this, but the arc quenching is similar in both the single break and double break oil circuit breakers. So in this way we will study now, we will studying up to oil circuit breaker, that means tank oil circuit breaker. Another type of circuit breaker are arc control oil circuit breakers. We will study in the next session the oil circuit breakers. Here is a questionnaire, some questions is there. We will now showing the questions like one by one, like this way. So first question is like this. Here is a question. A circuit breaker opens when a fault occurs on the system. A. Automatically. B. Manually. C. Semi-automatically. D. None. What is the correct answer here? So the correct answer is automatically. Circuit breaker opens when a fault occurs on the system, it can automatically opens. So this is the first question, and second question is like this. Circuit breakers are usually made to operate under A. Transient state, B. Subtransient, C. Steady state, D. Complete DC component suppression. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is A. Transient state. In the transient state, circuit breaker opens in the transient state only. Now third question is like this. Which type of oil is used in circuit breakers? A. Diesel, B. Castor oil, C. Transformer oil, D. Synthetic oil. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is transformer oil. Correct answer is transformer oil. Now next question is like this. The recovery voltage of a circuit breaker comprises the recovery voltage of a circuit breaker comprises a power frequency component only, a high frequency component only, B. C. Both power and high frequency components, D. A transient component only. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is, so recovery voltage means it is a power frequency component only. The answer is power frequency component only. Now next question is like this. In a circuit breakers, arc quenching is done by which type of interruption? A. High resistance, B. Low resistance, C. Medium resistance, D. Very high resistance. So now the correct answer is, in AC circuit breakers. AC circuit breakers means what type of quenching method we are used? That is low resistance quenching is used. Low resistance method is used. And again next question is like this. The arc is electrically pure capacitor, pure resistor, pure inductor and none. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is pure inductor. Correct answer is pure inductor. Now again another question is like this. The power factor of arc current is A. Unity, B. Zero lead, C. Zero lagging, D. Low. Now the correct answer is, the power factor of arc current is zero lagging. The power factor of arc current is zero lagging. So these are the some questions were already in this chapter. We will study in the this, and the summary of the up to we are knowing the what we are knowing the, once again we repeating the what we are studying in this session is first one is arc phenomena and cause of arc. Second one is quenching methods or arrangements for arc quenching. Third one is functioning of oil circuit breaker. Fourth one is types of oil circuit breakers, and fifth one is bulk oil circuit breaker construction and working. So in the bulk oil construction only we are studying only plain tank oil circuit breakers only we are studying. In the next coming session we will study about the remaining bulk oil circuit breakers. So in the first one we are studying about the arc phenomena, in where the arc is established, and due to the arc established what happens. So this is there is a cause of arc. The cause of arc also we are studying. The cause of arc is like this. It will damage, that means the heavy current, that means short circuit current damage the transformers, alternators or even transmission lines or circuit breaker contacts. So even also interruption of supply takes place due to the cause of the arc, if you allow the cause of the arc. And third one is arc quenching method. Arc quenching methods are two types. We are already studying arc quenching methods: low resistance, high resistance, and functioning of oil circuit breaker and its advantage and disadvantage also known. And last one is types of oil circuit breakers. Types of oil circuit breakers also studying, and there is also bulk oil circuit breakers, bulk oil and minimum oil circuit breakers. And bulk oil circuit breakers we are studying about the plain tank oil circuit breakers. Remaining minimum oil and bulk oil circuit breakers are studying in the next coming sections.